Shalom. Kal halayim la, Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect, to the Akim doing the work in truth and sincerity, as well as a few Akwat that listen and learn. So this is just going to be a response video to what the elder Yasharala did, the elder from Dallas, and the elder MANASSEH did from South Carolina, titled Be not as a lion in thy house, meaning don't be a tyrant in your household, and I just want to land back, off of certain points they made in that video and add my spiritual 2 cents to it through the scriptures, because I had to learn this for myself, and this is really a learning point, something you have to experience to truly understand for most brothers, because every situation varies, right? So pretty much, and it really centers around dealing with women in this case, but it really is, it could apply to anything. You got to have balance in everything you do, man, and that's how the Lord is grooming us to be, is that he wants us to apply balance to every situation, because a perfect judge is going to be perfectly balanced. So let's get this first scripture, and then we'll go from there. So this is Ecclesiasticus or Sirach 4:30. It reads, "Be not as a lion in thy house, nor frantic among thy servants." So, in your household, man, if you have, this is the typical problem. You have a woman, an unbelieving wife, you're in the truth, seeking the Lord, and you're pretty much forcing the truth down the woman's throat, man. You're trying to convert her, and first and foremost, we got to understand, man, this is all of the Lord, one, and two, these women aren't going to get it for the most part. This is a part of our punishment. It's written that, the Lord deprived the woman of wisdom, that she would be our enemy. She just not going to understand for the most part. And you have your sincere sisters, of course, but the majority of women, even more so than the men, they're just not going to get it, because they've been attacked. Their mind has been attacked by Esau Edom even more so than the man. Esau Edom has basically turned them into a weapon. So you got to understand, where their mind may be at and things they grew up on, on top of being the weaker vessel. So that's a part of applying the wisdom and being balanced from the get-go, man. You can't just, we know we can have multiple wives. We know it's lawful, but it's not expedient in these times, which I'm going to get in 1 Corinthians in a second. But, you can't just, there's certain cases where your woman may be okay with that. But most cases, it's not going to be like that. It's not going to be that way. It's just not going to happen. It's not going to fly here. And this is something I had to learn, being super young in the truth, man. You try to, it's exciting to hear the good news and things, you're a son of God, you're an Israelite, you have multiple women, but in these times, man, we're to focus on the word, and having multiple women in this kingdom, in Esau's kingdom, is going to hurt you more than it's going to benefit you, man. That's really all it's going to do. It's not going to be done the way it's supposed to be done. That's just how it's going to go. So really, if you have a woman that is, that you're pleased to dwell with, man, that's decent, she's, she does her own thing, she helps you, she supports, she's not disrespectful, she's not unruly, then that's all you need, man. That's really all you need on this side. That's all we need on this side. We don't need multiple women on this side, man. And on top of that, back to my original point, man, all you're doing by being a lion in your house, by, getting mad when she's not listening to certain things you taught her, when she can't understand, when you see her not following, just little things, man, in the scriptures. I can go on all day, but you can't be getting mad, cursing her out, ready to stone her because she's not, you know, uphold being the most holy woman possible, the most righteous woman. You know, all you're gonna do is destroy your situation, because at the end of the day, there's stability within having, you know, one woman, and you know your household in order like that. That's just stability is important, man. So you're gonna end up destroying your situation by trying to, you know, by trying to force these things. And this isn't the kingdom, man. We're not gonna get, you know, women aren't gonna be in order, you know, until Jacob's trouble, and you know when the Lord snaps them back into reality, because all the danger that's around them. And then in the kingdom, of course, you know, and that's coming, man. That Isaiah 4:1 is coming anyways. So we're to focus on this word, man. And Apostle Paul told us what? If you have a wife, be as if thou had none. Right? So that's very good spiritual advice, because at the end of the day, man, the word is supposed to be the most important anyway. Women just come with more distractions, more responsibilities, you know, and it could end up destroying you, man. Just because you can do it doesn't mean you should. And that's exactly what I'm going to get next. Like I said in 1 Corinthians 10th chapter and 23rd verse, it reads, all things are lawful for me, but all things are not expedient. All things are lawful for me, but all things edify not, right? So just because you can do it does not mean that you should. Just because there's, you know, hella food in the fridge doesn't mean you should eat it, that you should eat it all, you know? Just because you have the ability to do something, the liberty to do something, does not mean at that time, in that particular moment, that you should do it, because it's, you know, at the end of the day, it's not the right time for it. You know, too much of anything can kill you, can hurt you. Not kill you, but it can hurt you. Too much of anything, you know, isn't good. So you got to apply this balance, man. This is when you really dive into this truth, man, you start to understand what it's about. The Lord is making us better judges, better human beings, balanced individuals in Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, you know, and he puts us through certain tests that we, you know, so that we can learn certain things, you know. He may show you things the hard way, you know, and I can attest to that, man. He may show you things the hard way so that now you know, and you see why, you know, that you see why you have to apply certain things in certain situations, but you got to go through it first. So it's really a learning process. It's a learning experience. But this is what these scriptures are for, man. It's for this wisdom. You know, it's the wisdom, or I should say the wisdom is for us to take and apply. Right? Because you'll destroy yourself, man. You will destroy yourself just trying to, this isn't our kingdom. You know, we got to understand we are in Esau Edom's kingdom. The way Esau has everything set up is pretty much complete contrary to what our kingdom is going to be like. So trying to go against the grain, and of course you keep the law to the best of your ability, but trying to enforce it in your household, and you know, and here's the thing, it's balance, you know. So yeah, there's certain things you don't tolerate, and there's going to be wicked women, of course. There's going to be women who are just unruly as hell, and you know, to just give you hell, and they're just wicked, you know. But there's going to be women who are decent, man. You know, it's going to be different cases, and as a brother, you know, whatever you can handle based off your situation, man, you apply that spiritual discretion, you know. But there's certain things, of course, you don't tolerate. Certain things, you know, you set a certain order that is to be followed, man, as a, you know, the leader of your household. But at the end of the day, man, you know, we can only do so much in the kingdom where, you know, we don't have our power, man. We don't have power in this kingdom. So you got to be smart and apply and think, what's a situation that's going to keep me the most stable, you know, so I can serve the Lord. At the end, that's you know, when brothers say this truth should be in the forefront of your mind, that's what they mean. You know, everything you do should be catered around, you know, serving the Lord. So by you destroying your situation because, you know, you're being overbearing to your woman about, you know, having multiple women or keeping certain laws or doing this or doing that or whatever, or, you know, wearing a head wrap, you know, whatever the case may be, you know, and she's getting uncomfortable, she's getting, you know, she's ready to leave you, you know, it's just, it may throw you way off, man. It may cause you to, you know, your situation is going to be completely different all of a sudden, you know, just because you were trying to force something on your woman that she's not ready for, you know. And like I said, if she's decent, man, then, you know, she's cool, you know, you deal, man, you deal righteously, you know, because every video that, and brothers have been bringing this out a lot right now, that every video you hear dealing with wicked women, you know, yeah, there's wicked women, and yeah, they're going to be, you know, they're going to be rebuked in the spirit, but that's not every situation. That's not every woman. That's not, you know, it's not every situation. Some brothers got good situations, man. Some brothers are good with their women. So you got to apply what you hear from the videos, from the scriptures to your situation. So this is Ecclesiastes 7:16. It reads, "Be not righteous over much, neither make thyself over wise. Why shouldest thou destroy thyself?" Right? So being over righteous is basically doing too much. Because yeah, we know, as I said earlier, we know it's lawful to have multiple women. And this is just one example. We know it's lawful to have multiple women. You know, we know it's our God-given right. But if that's not conducive to your situation, then why are you trying to force it? Just because here's the thing, even if you do have multiple women in this society, the way it's set up, man, these women are gonna want, you know, hella attention, you know, they're gonna require certain things, you know, and so you got to understand, man, it just puts so much on your plate that it takes you away from the Most High, and then ultimately you end up destroying yourself. You just throw yourself way off, man, because you're going to be scrambling, you know, you're going to be focused on your woman, you're not going to be, you know, it's not going to benefit you, man. It's just not going to benefit you. And that goes with anything in your life, you know. You got to look at it and deal with balance. You know, you can't be over righteous just because if we were just to be over righteous, you know, like seeing some Jake, you know, at work, for example, eating some pork, you know, or talking about adultery, you know, you can't put him to death on the spot. You know, say he was talking about some adulterous act he committed. You know, you can't just put him to death on the spot, because that's, you know, you're just going to end up in jail. You know, then you can't serve the Lord, you know, and that's more extreme, but you get the point. You know, this is part of our punishment. This is a part of our captivity. You know, we got to deal as men, gird up thy loins like a man, you know, and deal righteously, man, and apply that wisdom, because this is just a part of the battle, man. And also, you know, we have to understand, you know, that the Lord is making us perfect judges, right? So we have to understand mercy, you know, and of course, like I said earlier, there's certain things you tolerate, certain things you don't. As a man, of course, you have boundaries, you know, and you also apply the scriptures when making those boundaries. But when you deal with mercy, man, you got to think of it. Okay, if the Lord didn't show us no mercy as a nation, then where would we be at? You know, because all of us we're all messed up. We're all under curses as the Israelites, you know, but we're you know, now we're coming back into who we are. But the women aren't going to be on board right now like that. They're just not. And that's something we got to understand. And as I said before, that's something I learned the hard way. But now I know the Lord put me through a situation. So now I know for a fact, you know, so now you apply the wisdom, and you do it righteously, man. So you got to apply some mercy sometimes, you know, because sometimes, you know, it comes from a good place, you know, as a brother in the truth, you know, someone seeking the Lord, you know, it comes from wanting her to be the best version of herself, and wanting, you know, your people to just operate on the, you know, the standard and the vibration of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, man. You know, we pretty much, you know, I understand you want the kingdom, you know, you want things to just be in order. You want, you know, you want it, man, but it's not going to happen right now. It's not the time for that. So, applying mercy in situations, man, is important because, they're just not going to get it. They're not going to get most things, and some sisters will, but most won't. So let's get some more scripts. So this is, let's see. Yeah, let's go back to 1 Corinthians 14 and 20. It reads, Brethren, be not children in understanding, howbeit in malice be ye children, but in understanding be men. So be not children in understanding, in malice. So being children in understanding, meaning, for when it comes to dealing with the Lord, fearing the Lord, man, knowing, okay, if I do this, if I do that, if I eat pork, if I, deal with this man's woman, I'll be put to death. You act like a kid, man, that's scared to transgress against his father. But when it comes to understanding, deal as a man, apply that wisdom, adapt to your situation, whatever the situation may be, because the Lord put us in this situation, man. He wants us to figure this thing out and apply the balance, and this is a part of us becoming those perfect judges. Right? So this is, like I said, man, this is just a part of the battle. This is 1 Corinthians 6 and 2. It reads, Do ye not know that the saints shall judge the world? And if the world shall be judged by you, are ye unworthy to judge the smallest matters? So exactly, if you can't apply wisdom and rule over your situation just in your household, how are you supposed to judge and govern the planet Earth? That's where you gotta start. You gotta start broadening your your thinking, man. You just these little situations, they may be small, but the principle behind them, it could be, extremely large, man. And the Lord is putting you through certain situations so that you can learn and that you can make the right decision. So, like I said, this is just the Lord is preparing us to be perfect judges. So these small matters, man, are important because it not only is it going to help you in your walk pursuing the Lord, but it's also teaching you how to be a righteous judge. And, as I said before, man, you're going to have wicked women. You're going to have situations where you get the shitty end of the stick. Honestly, a lot of the times that's what's going to happen. You're going to catch some hell. And a lot of the times it comes by way of women. But, you don't want to make a hasty decision, being over righteous in whatever given situation. If your woman transgresses against you, scriptures say, marvel not if she trespass against you. Or, transgress. So that's a part of applying wisdom, is not being hasty and making rash decisions just because, she did something or someone else did something that that goes against the scriptures. Yeah, we know that. But these people that aren't in the truth, man, you can't have such high expectations. That's another thing. You gotta lower your expectations for really the people of the world, but especially dealing with women. You have to lower expectations. Understand where they're at mentally. They're not in the Israelite state of mind. These aren't women of the ancient world. These are women that are brought up on feminism, and they've been given a whole bunch of liberty to destroy themselves. And they're bombarded with, indoctrination every day. So, and it comes from their family, social media, all different kind of avenues. So you got to understand, man, they're not righteous women, man. You got to lower your standards. Because when they do something, and you'll have a reaction certain times, man. I know brothers go through a lot of stuff dealing with women. It could be, a crazy situation. I can relate. But at the end of the day, you got to revert back to the scripts and realize, like, you can't even be too mad at them, man. You should look at yourself and say, I put too much expectation in this because I should have known. These people are wicked. They don't have, they don't have the spiritual mind that I have. They don't have the truth, this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, especially these women. And people who don't have this truth, or who aren't, let's say, not experiencing this truth, they tend to make hasteful decisions, in the time of trouble. So I wanted to get this in Ecclesiastes or Sirach, chapter 2, verse 1. It reads, "My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation, set thy heart aright, and constantly endure, and make not haste in the time of trouble." So when something happens, man, when something goes wrong, whatever the case may be, man, let's say, your woman she did some, I don't know, she transgressed against you, man. She committed adultery. Let's use that, a familiar example to a lot of people. Don't go beat her up, stone her, don't do nothing crazy, man. You're in Esau society where they have the power, just let it be. It's gonna hurt. You might say some stuff, get some stuff off your chest or whatever, but understand the Lord is good. The Lord is in control of everything. The Lord is gonna judge the wicked of our people, women included. So, you gotta leave it to the Lord. Don't do anything to ruin yourself, ruin your situation, just because people with no understanding did something wicked, because again, they don't have no understanding. And this is a part of us being tried, man. So let me finish this out. It reads, verse 3, "Cleave unto him and depart not away, that thou mayest be increased at thy last end," right? So, when you sit back, when something crazy happens, you sit back, you analyze the situation, man, you realize the Lord is trying to increase you. He's teaching you something. He's showing, he's putting you through the fire. Verse 4, "Whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully, and be patient when thou art changed to a low estate. For gold is tried in the fire, and an acceptable man in the furnace of adversity." So it's all about us being tried. This scripture applies to many things, but of course we're dealing with something particular right now, but it's just a part of the balance and understanding why things are happening, applying wisdom to every situation, applying the balance, so if something crazy happens, don't destroy yourself even more, by doing something crazy, and that goes back to what I said before, lowering your expectations. When you lower those expectations, you're not going to be you're going to be less disappointed when something happens, because you didn't have high expectations in the first place. And you really can't have high expectations, man. And sometimes it could get a little difficult, a little tricky, because, as Israelite men, and people don't want to believe it, because, the men of great millstone get on women for being wicked, or the wicked women, but Israelite men love women, man, and we love women, we love hard, it's just in our nature. When we get with a woman and we take them seriously, we love hard, so it can be hard to have a situation like that just, blow up in your face. But then again, you got to understand, you can't have your expectations cannot be just too high. It just can't. You gotta find that balance, adjust that balance whenever you see yourself getting too caught up in this thing. Because when you get too caught up with women and all this stuff in the world anyway, you get distracted from the word. So again, the word should be placed in the forefront of all these things, and that's really what's gonna keep you balanced, is seeking the Lord, and putting the Lord Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai in the forefront of all your doings. That's just gonna keep you balanced. So this is on Proverbs 11:1. It reads, "A false balance is an abomination to Yahweh, but a just weight is his delight." So yeah, man, anything, a false balance could that could apply to anything. But you want to have a balanced situation where you can serve the Lord properly. You got your necessities, you got what you need. You're not causing yourself any strife. You can control what you can control, which of course the Lord, we know, is controlling everything. But we still are in these situations that, we're doing certain things to help our situation. So you want to make sure your situation is as balanced as possible. And you can do that by serving the Lord. Because once you put the Lord in the forefront, the Lord is going to set everything in place for you where it needs to be. Let's see, I had a couple more scriptures. The point is basically made, but okay, yeah, these last two are really good. So this is Proverbs 16:32. It reads, "He that is slow to anger is better than the mighty, and he that ruleth his spirit than he that taketh the city." So Yeah, be slow to anger, man. Don't you can't let, your woman not being, it's not seeking the Lord like you get to you. You can't let her, even if she does something, crazy to you, or tries to transgress, or she transgresses against you, or cusses you out, or of course stand up. Don't be no bitch. I will put it plainly. Don't be no bitch. But you apply. You're a man. At the end of the day, you're a man of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Like I said before, there's boundaries. But be slow to anger, man. You don't want to make decisions based off your emotions. Emotions will cloud judgment. And as a righteous judge, as a potential king and ruler of the earth to come, that's what we're seeking. We're seeking the kingdom, man, to be a part of that election. You can't judge emotionally. You can't judge based off your emotions. You got to judge righteously. We're dealing with the scriptures, man. And that comes with balance. So, let's see, this is Matthew 10:16, and it reads, "Behold, I send you forth as sheep in the midst of wolves. Be ye therefore wise as serpents and harmless as doves." Right, man. And that was Yahushai's words. We're to be wise, wise as serpents and harmless as doves. Right? So that varies. Whatever your situation is gonna vary. You gotta figure out what your situation needs. What you can apply to your situation to get that balance. It's all about balance. So don't overreact with dealing with women, or even family, friends in the world, whatever, your job. You got to understand where we're in. We're living a punishment. We're living in captivity. Things are against us. The Lord is testing us on top of it. And all things are lawful but not expedient. So we don't just because we are the Israelites. Yeah, we are the sons of God, but right now is not the time for us to. We're not in our kingdom. It's not the time for that. Micah 2:10 tells us this is not our rest. So we got work to do. We're on a mission. Just focus on the Lord, and the Lord will set things in order for you. So yeah, I mean, the point is pretty much made, but I thought it was through the Spirit, man, it's a very important lesson because, like I said, I can relate, heavily to these lessons that's recently been coming out, that the response to Elder Yasharala's video, because, I had this problem when I was early on in the truth. I'm still young in the truth, but, even before, like, just wanted to apply having multiple wives, trying to force it, and I ended up ruining my situation. I ended up causing myself more strife than anything, and I had to learn that the hard way. So through the Spirit, like I said, earlier, the Lord puts you through certain things. He may make you do something, man, but you got to learn from it. Like I said, it's a learning process. This is about us applying wisdom, being purified, turning into, basically coming from niggas in the world, and the Lord waking us up and bringing us back to, what we're supposed to be, which is righteous rulers of the earth. So yeah, man, the Lord's word is edifying, and, you learn something from it, those who watch. But I'm going to close out, give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, and Kakodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, Shalom, Kwam Yasharala, and the Bible Ball.